Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daily Tactics here, back with episode 2 of Ask Daily, the new series where you guys ask me questions on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, this video's comment section, and I will get back to you in video form the very next week. Now, before this video begins, I wanted to say thank you to you guys because I was feeling a little bit sick the other day and I got a lot of well wishes in the last video where I mentioned it, and I want to say thank you guys for putting up with me being a little bit low energy in that video and for all of the kind words. You guys are seriously the best fan base ever, and I'm feeling a lot better today. I took a long nap in the middle of the afternoon that day and I woke up feeling way better, and now I'm feeling even better than that. So I think I was just coming down with a little something, but it's going away now, which is awesome. Either way, let's get into the questions here. Question number 1 comes from CT6042. He asks that if Battlefront 3 gets announced, what do you think you'd want to see improved the most from Battlefront 2? Now, this is a tough question because I feel like Battlefront 2 improved so much over its lifespan, and it really became a game that I loved in the end, and I currently am loving the current state of Battlefront 2. But there are a few things that I would do to switch things around in Battlefront 3, because obviously Battlefront 3 needs to be pretty revolutionary, because Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2 at first had almost no distinguishable differences beyond the fact that they had the prequels in them and the sequels. Other than that, it was basically the exact same game, again with different game mechanics too. But like I said, same game modes, same sort of weapon workings and things like that. There was just a different class system basically. So I think if they were to do a Battlefront 3, which I bet they will, it would need to rework Battlefront 2 a lot and make it almost an entirely different game while still keeping the core Star Wars ground assault features. So the way I would go about doing this is take Battlefield, a fantastic franchise, and almost implement it into Battlefront 2. They're very similar already, being built by the exact same company. However, I would take sort of the class system mechanics that Battlefront 2 primitively did and move it over to the Battlefield system. So in Battlefield, you have a medic, you have an ammo guy, you have a sniper, and then you have an engineer. I think I would do that where I'd actually have the ability of a class to, have medic bags that can have health be recovered by standing near them, or have ammo bags that another class could have access to, and when you stand near them, you get back, thermal detonators, you get blaster ammo, things like that. It would be a lot more like Battlefield than Battlefront. I think Battlefront took good steps towards implementing this, with Officer having certain buffs that help out the team, and Assault having access to different weapons than Heavy did and stuff like that. But I think they need to take it a step further and really make it into a class system where your role will help out the team as a whole, because as it stands right now, each class is basically your preference. It doesn't go towards helping the team at all. If you want to play Heavy and use explosives, you play Heavy. If you want to play Assault and Bum Rush, you play Assault and Bum Rush. If you want to play Sniper and stand in the back, you do that. The only thing that really helps the team currently is Officer, and I feel like people only play Officer in order to gather enough points in order to get heroes faster. So I think having these dynamics that Battlefield has mastered, where playing a certain class can help out the team a ton, would be really cool, because I love running around in Battlefield 3 still, playing medic and trying to revive troopers who have died and giving out health packs to people and things like that. I think it could be a huge buff to the game and make teamwork even more essential and really promote that sort of sense of community in the game. I think it'd be cool. I don't know if it would really work in the Star Wars universe as well as it does in the Battlefield universe, but I still think it'd be worth a shot, and it could be really cool if it was pulled off well. The other thing that I would do that I think would vastly improve Battlefront 3 is actually do what they had planned for the original Battlefront 3 game from 2007 or 8 that ended up being canceled. What they had planned for that was basically these battles where there would be a massive space battle in the sky where there'd be Venators fighting against separatist ships and, starfighters flying around those ships. And then what you could do was you could take a starfighter, from up there and then go into a ground invasion from that starfighter. Obviously, they kind of did this with Supremacy, where first you fight on the ground and then you go fight on a ship, but in this case, it would really take that sort of space assault battle that's going up in the sky and bring it onto the ground and really combining all senses of the battlefield into one massive battle. If they did that with like 50 versus 50 players or something along those lines, something massive scale, it would feel so much like you are in a direct campaign in Star Wars and duking it out. It would be so sick. I think that could be just the most fun thing ever. So I'd love it if that game mode that mixed a space battle with a ground assault together, if that made it into Battlefront 3, finally, that'd be so cool. I think we almost got there with Supremacy, but it just wasn't that same thing that I thought it was going to be. So I'd love to see that in Battlefront 3. There is one more thing that I would do, but I highly doubt that this would ever really get implemented, but that would be a grand campaign that's going on in the background of all these battles. We see this implemented in certain games like Heroes and Generals, where there's a campaign map where there's the Axis powers going up against the Allied powers in like this Risk sort of board battlefield, and then you click on where you want to go in the map where a battle is currently happening, and you join the infantry assault there. And throughout the progression of like a week or a month, the battle map changes depending on which side is winning which battles, and it sort of fluctuates throughout this campaign progress, where you are on the map, how many reinforcements each side has, until finally at the very end of the battle, one side is the victor and a winner is declared and it starts all over, or you go to a different map location or something like that. I think it'd be really cool if Battlefront 3 took this but put it on the galactic scale. So there are different battles being fought on each planet, and you get to go and join in the battles that are getting fought on those planets to decide the victor of those planets in this grand galactic campaign map. And at the end of a month or two, you decide who ends up winning the Clone Wars or the Galactic Civil War or whatever. I think it could be cool. Or they could do it on a more micro scale and say have the Battle of Fallujah 1 week, and then the Battle of Camino 1 week, and have an individual campaign map for each of those battles, and you get to choose which battles you're fighting in within the grander planet battle. And then even scoped out further than that is the galactic battle, where at the very end you see who won which planet at the end of each week and who won the Clone Wars total. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of a cool idea. I haven't really seen anyone else come up with it, so I doubt it happens because it has very little hype, but I would be most hyped, I think, for this happening in Battlefront 3. Alright, the next question comes from General Kermit, who asked, do you think that George Lucas and Dave Filoni should make a movie themselves? Obviously, George Lucas is the creator of Star Wars, and Dave Filoni did the Clone Wars TV series, and I think he also did Avatar, if I'm not mistaken. The animated show, not the movie that James Cameron did. But yes, I think that'd be really cool. Honestly, I think that they each would have a good strong suit here. I think George Lucas could write the story and really sink his heart into making another beautiful Star Wars epic, because you kind of see him on the sidelines here, poking in, seeing what Disney's doing with Star Wars, kind of commenting here or there, but keeping it rather subtle so he doesn't get sued. And you can see that he still has a vested interest in his creation. So maybe he'd be really into writing another epic story like the prequels or something like that. And then Dave Filoni takes over and does the directing of it, because he is a brilliant director and he really gets just so many parts moving into the story arc, and he's so good at eliciting emotions from the people he's working with and things like that. That's seen not only in the Clone Wars TV series and Avatar: The Last Airbender, but also in the Mandalorian episode that he ended up directing. So I think the combination of George writing and Dave directing could be really, really cool. The next up is from Grady Kretz. He asks a question, not about Star Wars. Are you going to be making small head merch? Because if you do, I would definitely buy it. I don't know. Do you guys want to see small head merch? He keeps coming up in random videos where I never expect him to. That's the funniest part of Smallhead. I love it. He's this random clone trooper who we never expect to enter into the video again. Like, I thought the only time we'd ever see him was that one Tabs video, but lo and behold, he's in multiple Tabs videos, and then he's in Star Wars Battlefront 2 randomly. Like, yeah, Smallhead's kind of a legend now. So, I don't know. Would you guys like Smallhead merch? I'd be interested. All right, next up, we have Spartan Skybird, who asks, will they have another Clone Wars season? Also, who is your favorite Sith? Now, obviously, I don't personally know if they'll have another Clone Wars season, but my best guess is yes. Disney is a company who loves money. I mean, every company loves money, but Disney especially. And I think they saw the hype behind the Clone Wars Season 7. And I think they saw the fan, response to the season coming out. And it's something they hadn't seen in Star Wars since The Force Awakens or since The Mandalorian. And they've had so many flops in Star Wars that I think anything that succeeds as much as the Clone Wars Season 7 did, they'll take that and they'll try and replicate it. So I really do think that they will come out with another Clone Wars, maybe an anthology series, or something not mainly Clone Wars, because I think that whole thing is done, but maybe a side story of some of the characters or something like that in a mini series type of a thing. Or they'll try and replicate it in Star Wars Resistance or Star Wars Rebels or whatever and try and do it in another era, because for whatever reason Disney still doesn't trust the Clone Wars era. The prequels are not something they ever do things for beyond the Clone Wars. So I have a feeling they'll take this and be like, no, but it would work better with the original trilogy. No, it wouldn't. It worked so well because it was the Clone Wars, and fans have started a cult following of the Clone Wars, so go do more Clone Wars stuff. They don't seem to get that, they still think that people only want Galactic Civil War stuff. And yes, so many people want Galactic Civil War stuff. I want Galactic Civil War stuff. I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars is the original trilogy, but people also want Clone Wars stuff, and they're missing that point. So yes, I do think they will try and make something from the success of Clone Wars and Dave Filoni. It just is a matter of, what that is in the form of, but I think we could see something in the future. And as for favorite Sith, it changes every so often. I don't know. There's so many good Sith in Star Wars, but Darth Jar Jar. All right, next up, the test subject asks, smash or pass Watto? Big ol' pass right there, dude. Nah, he ain't Jabba. Okay, then Alec Olson asks, question for Daley, what is your favorite LEGO Clone Wars set? Mine is the 2013 gunship. The 2013 gunship is honestly pretty sick. That thing's awesome. I would probably go with the turbo tank because I had such fond memories of building that as a kid. It was the largest Star Wars set that I ever had, and I was just really into building it. It took me forever, but I was so proud when it was done. So I think that is probably my favorite set. It just has a lot of sort of nostalgic memories for me, and it's such a cool vehicle as well. So I got to go with that. But there's some others that I really like. I like the AV cannon. That one's pretty sick. The Republic Frigate's cool. Also the Republic Venator. I also had this set of Anakin being turned into Darth Vader on Mustafar. I had one of those when I was a kid. Actually, I still have it. It's just really sun-worn and dirty now, which is tragic. But I like that one a lot for similar nostalgia reasons. So most of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets are from just me being nostalgic for them. So yeah, guys, that's going to conclude this episode of Ask Daley. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm enjoying this series a lot. I feel like it brings me closer to the community, and it lets me do something that I don't often do on this channel, and that is sort of speak my mind about certain situations in the Star Wars community in a more formal manner, and I like that a lot. And I like the mix of goofy questions you guys are hitting me with, as well as the serious questions. So if you guys have more questions for me, be sure to comment them down below in this video, or I'm also checking the questions for Daley section of my Discord periodically, or if you want to shoot me one on Twitter or Instagram, I'll check those as well. So yeah, hit me up with questions, guys. This series is probably going to become a regular thing, and I hope you guys are cool with that, because I'm really into it and I think it's cool. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace! I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.